Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are live in Clubhouse and we are live in a number of other places. It's good to see people coming in. Please do share this space. I will say good morning in the chat, so please forgive me on screen whilst I do the typing. Want to say good morning to everyone that's already coming in. We're on our way. We're on our way. We're coming. They're on our way. There we go. Good morning, everybody. It's fantastic to see us all here. And we are not just live on Clubhouse, we are live on all forms of social media. It's great to see you. Good morning, Naomi. Good morning, good morning. I think you might need to mute, Naomi. I don't think I can do it. Let me do that. There we go. Morning, Alexia. We're all arriving. We found the room. Morning, Clive. It's great. So you are in MJ's house this morning at 6 o'clock. It is already Monday, the 4th of December, and we are 20 days away from that Christmas day. Are you getting ready for Christmas? I certainly am. I haven't really got a choice because Christmas is coming, right? Whether or not we like it. So we are live everywhere, on StreamYard, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on my YouTube channel. So if you want to have a look at me on my YouTube channel, there's all sorts of content arriving there automatically now. It just gets popped up there every time I go live. And that is definitely creating a back catalogue ready for people like Louis to start harvesting and making wonderful, wonderful, wonderful material from. Hey, everyone's here. It's great to see that we are already internationally represented. It's great to see Somalia, I believe. I think we are. That's right. In the house. It's great to see everybody here already. Oh, morning, Marie. I nearly moved you to the audience as opposed to morning, my love, making you a moderator. Okay, so first of all, we're only at 2 minutes past. It feels like 5 past already. So I want to say this to everybody that's going to be here, but I'm going to say it now. So if you're here on the back channel, and you are going to listen back on this, just letting people get on the stage. Thank you. Good morning, James. That I want to say thank you, because I want to share how wonderful it is to already see the room full of those who need to come and hear this, right? So whatever medium you're on, wherever we are, we're here together, and the platforms can't separate us from one another because there isn't nothing except us, right? We are together. We are. And I've just had my coffee, James. I like the fact you've got your coffee going. I've got another one ready here. And together is the only way I can see the country can move forward from here, to be honest. But there's not a lot of point in whinging too much, because if we concentrate on the really good news, which is that I'm relentlessly learning on a daily basis and then bringing it to you each week, I'm distilling, and discerning my thinking into a way that moves us forward towards inclusion and accessibility. They are my raison d'etre. The reason for that is because I am disabled, right? So it's all about me. But it isn't. It's about everybody. So it doesn't matter whether I achieve this through challenging my ideology, challenging my thinking, which is the title of this room today, shattering norms, or challenging the ideology, which we'll go on to what an ideology is, or challenging my thinking, because it's not the process that matters. Sorry, it is the process that matters, not the outcome. It's the process. But I explain this every time we chat, right? I think that my smattering of science knowledge and the law of attraction, if that's what you believe in, evidences that the universe is already unfolding exactly as it should be, right here, right now. And you are here supporting me this morning. You are working synchronously with me. Good morning, Diane. And you are going the actual extra mile by turning up here on a Monday morning at 6 o'clock in MJ's house, bright and early. And don't forget, we're in inclusion tonight, which I know some of you would like a reminder for. the person that just walked in the room, actually. So please forgive me if I message you, but also please ask Christian Burton for that link to inclusion, as he and Julian, who will be here shortly, are almost ready in the new year to take up their position in the charitable entity we call inclusion, because we believe that inclusion is the only way forward. So if you want to know about the link tonight, and we're going to go on to what we're going to do tonight, which is an extension of what we're doing this morning in inclusion. So, and I think somebody that might be visiting inclusion may have just come in as well. So listen out. So how do we challenge our thinking? We've only just started. And what happens when I do? And when I realise that I'm wrong? Or my thinking hasn't been in line with my overarching outcomes. Good morning, everybody. My greater purpose. And let me explain here and now that having a definiteness of purpose has never been a challenge for me. I knew who God was before I knew the name, and I've experienced God in my life from the get-go. In every conceivable time, I have reached out to myself in the dark, in my moments of terror, in my loss, in my limitations, in my humanity. I challenge my thinking by reaching out beyond my own capabilities, beyond my own vision, beyond my own inefficiencies, because this is, for me, God. This is possibility. This is challenging my own ideologies, challenging the idea that I can do anything on my own except think and act like it is already done. I'm going to say that again. It's challenging to think that I can do anything on my own except think and act like it's already done. So we have to first question, for me, what is an ideology? As I thought about ideologies and smashing norms, shattering norms, what is an ideology? Is it just a set of ideas? Well, nope, it isn't. It isn't. It isn't. It's a bit more than that. An ideology is a set of ideas, of beliefs, of values, of ideals, and they form the basis of everything, right? Our economic, our political theory, our policy, everything. An ideology. And actually, it could even be something that turns into a manifesto. We'll move on to my personal manifestos, our personal manifesto shortly, because that's what I'm going to invite you to co-create this week, a personal manifesto. This is my alchemy for December, my personal manifesto, not New Year's resolutions for me. I'm not making promises to myself later in this month. I'm going to make them now. So my ideology represents a comprehensive vision, a way of looking at things. Or it can be a set of ideas that's proposed by the dominant class of a society to all members of this society. So we have to be mindful of what an ideology or a manifesto is. Ideologies are often seen as the driving force behind socio-political movements, our economic systems, and our cultural dynamics. And I'm sure Somalia's got plenty to say about that. The whole of the country. You represent the whole country here today. So how do we know ideology or dogma? What are the characteristics of an ideology? Well, it could be viewed as, or it's possible to see that you have a coherent set of ideas. That's what I'd say an ideology is. It's a coherent set of ideas. They typically consist of or are constructed of our beliefs and our values. An ideology offers us an explanation of our world and a method for responding to it. So what's your ideology? What's your life manifesto? And how do we come to those places that we might have a personal manifesto? I'm accessing something just recently now that tells me it's going to have, it's waiting to come in the post. It tells me whether I'm burning fat or whether I'm burning carbs. Interesting. It's an interpreter of my data, and it will balance the type of food that I choose to eat. A balance for my system, a manifesto for change, a recipe for what I'm to eat, and how I move will make the difference to me. And I believe that I have to be the difference to manifest the difference in my life. Notice the word manifest and manifesto. Now, what is an ideology? Because we all have one. What is our thinking behind our manifesto? I believe our ideologies are born from what we think and what we hear, what we imbibe, maybe not physically, what we imbibe, what we hear, what we listen to, what we watch, what we take in, but then most of all, what we do. So I think manifesto is a doing word. An ideology are the concepts behind it. A manifesto is a guidance for our behavior in the world. It helps us understand how we move socially and politically and economically. And every time we step out the door, we're doing that, right? Every time we buy something, every time we make a decision about education or training, every time we access a public service. Such as, for me, the inclusion of disabled people in the world. And there's people here for whom that's important, including me, whether that's physical or emotional or psychological or any other difference. I believe everyone should have a seat or a space actually at the table, because some of us bring our own seat. Me for one, I'm in a wheelchair. Talking of which, my Omeo's on its way and paid for. Not quite here, but within a grasp of me. It's a worldview, an ideology. My worldview is that everybody should be included. It gives a particular perspective of the world and often prescribes what's seen as an ideal social order. Yes, my world is not your worldview, and your world is not mine. We all hold a different worldview based on our experience and on our knowledge of the world. And I envisage a world where disabled people are not automatically reduced in their capacity of a worldview. Right? That's in line with the same possibilities as everybody else. I envisage a world where I can safely and honestly, authentically say to the individuals I support that it is a perfectly and equitable possibility to access education, work and training. Now that's upsetting. Now, I can't say that yet, but I will be able to. We cannot say this yet. Yeah, it's my manifesto. It's what's the bedrock of your manifesto? My personal and professional manifesto begins with access to equitable education, workfulness opportunities, and training for all. It's the beginning of my manifesto, of my worldview, what I am manifesting from what I think, feel, experience, but most of all, do. So, what else is an ideology? Well, an ideology needs to be action oriented, right? There are many ideologies that aim to inspire, but they also justify certain actions or policies, particularly normally in the political or social realms. I'm here to definitely justify my ideology. With every action step we take for ourselves and outside of that, we are determining how others see us, what they view our ideology is. They see that we are set to manifest our ideology through our manifesto. What do you think your manifesto is? What do others think your manifesto is? What is your personal manifesto? You might not have even thought about it yet. What is your manifesto? We'll come to that because I'm going to challenge you today to develop yours. And perhaps if you're brave enough, determined enough, definite enough, on purpose enough, you'll write your manifesto and come and deliver it here and set your stall out, or wherever you want to deliver it, online, on social media. Dare, double dare you. Determine your current ideology, decide what you stand for, and then set it out in a manifesto of what you want to achieve. I would state it out loud to yourself on a daily basis, more than ever out loud in public, though, because it's through the will of others that your manifesto is achieved, right? As well as your own action steps and ideology. It's through the will of others that your manifesto is achieved, as well as my own action steps and ideology. So, what else is an ideology? want to say thank you for being here, and it's great to see new faces. Well, it's a change. Or actually, remember, it can also be the status quo remaining static. Here's the rub, right? An ideology can state flux, or it can state remaining static. You know, you can make decisions to say in your bed this morning, you might still be there, snuggled up and warm. I'm not. And those that are seeing me on social media can see I'm not. I'm ready, I'm dressed, I've already been to a morning meeting, I've met my team, and I've set the stall out for the day. I've exercised, I've showered, I'm ready. I've had my coffee, I've had a smoothie. Maybe you are in bed and that's your ideology right this moment, and that's perfectly fine. I was in bed at this time yesterday morning. Or perhaps you're like me. Maybe this November you're like I was a couple of years ago at this time. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was sick of worrying about my weight. I was sick of worrying about my bank. I was sick of worrying about myself. I was sick of worrying, full stop. I was just sick, and I was sick of worrying. So I had to be honest with myself, and I'm being honest with myself now, and I'm asking you to be honest about your ideology, because ideologies call for both change and stability. Some ideologies advocate for change, like a revolution, like the one we're creating with Omeos, or reform, like the one that I'm creating, workfulness for the 1 in 5, the opportunity for workfulness, not the degradation of standards or of how we perceive people. We're going to be demonstrating our ideas for reform, for change, for revolution through the medium of dance, using the Omeo. In fact, this weekend I've been singing to people, Omeo, my oh, wherefore out thou Omeo. I prefer the Omeo, while others seek to maintain the status quo. That nearly rhymes. So change, ideologies call for change and stability, and I seek both. The stability of workfulness, of being able to produce income, of being able to lift myself from my own intersectionality and equality, and move towards a status quo that is equitable and fair. So finally, what else is an ideology? Well, it's culturally and contextually dependent. The development and popularity of ideologies are influenced by cultural and historical contexts. So how we view the future is determined by our current reality. And this is why I skew your current reality to potentially redetermine your ideological future. I skew your current reality to potentially redetermine your ideological future. Remember, ideologies can vary wildly in the way that they present and the impact that they make. It can range from being inclusive or progressive ideologies like mine that seek to improve societies for all members, to exclusive or extremist ideologies that might promote the interests of a particular group at the expense of others. Examples of these might include capitalism, you might know it, you're living in it, socialism, democracy, we are said to live in a democracy, nationalism, feminism, oh, we know what we think of feminists, I'm definitely a feminist, environmentalism, our Alexia, definitely think of Alexia when you think of that, and many others, and they all have their own sets of goals and principles, right? So I would say that today, I'm going to go on to just summarize what a manifesto is, because you might not be able to make one if you don't know what it is. Let's challenge our ideology. I want to set my manifesto towards a future that we are redetermining for ourselves. But that involves me setting a stall out for change. Let's set our stall out for change, so that when you talk about what you do, others know what your ideology is. what your values are and what you stand for. I stand for change. I stand for inclusion, for accessibility, and partnering for a different future. My manifesto is inclusion, and my medium of travel is partnering and co-creating accessible solutions for the change that we need to occur through the medium of action. And I hope that my action steps over the last 2 years have evidence that this pathway of enlightened action is derived from everything I've ever been exposed to. And that includes visiting beyond here, right? That includes my experience of passing over during COVID. I was intubated for 19 weeks, and I know there's no end to this experience. I'm going to be encouraging you all to consider your ideology and come tonight to inclusion. We're going to be examining this and more, but we're going to be developing and designing our manifesto. So a manifesto is a public declaration. Remember, I said, if you're going to set your stall, set it out to yourself, set it out in front of a mirror, set it out every day, write it down. If you don't think you need to write it down, you're wrong. Go and do that now. And if you don't expect it to happen because you haven't set your stall out, right? Set your stall out for you, set your stall out in front of you and then in front of everybody else. That's what a manifesto is. It's a public declaration of your policy, your aims, who you are and what you plan to do. It's usually issued by a political party, and I'm having to think about that as I move into the Senate. I'm going to the House of Lords on the 30th of December. I'm at the Senate on Tuesday with the Equalities and Human Rights Commission, and Baswa, the new director of Wales, has invited me along. So I have to think about these things now. It's a written statement. My manifesto is a written statement, and it describes my policies, my goals, and my opinions. They're also, not only that, it is a statement of intent. When I say state it, that's your manifesto, stating what you intend to do. It's also, though, of course, underlying what we've talked about already, an ideological framework. It gives us insight into our philosophical beliefs, what we really think and feel, and what guides our actions, what's on our agenda. How are we going to rally support, like here right now, for what is our vision? A manifesto often contains a visionary aspect, an idealized future of the version of the future, rather. A set of aims to achieve workfulness for the 1 in 5, access to housing when there's only 17% of stock that's actually available to somebody in a wheelchair, to education and training when a lot of organisations don't have accessible premises yet. But more than that, an accessible curriculum to those that experience neurodivergence, difference in learning, or a different way of interpreting the world. In essence, a manifesto is a tool for you to communicate and persuade using a way of you explaining complex ideas in a straightforward and compelling way in order that you can influence public opinion outside of yourself and yourself, actually, and guide action. Now, today we're going to be going over and talking about, I think, breaking bad habits. Yeah, absolutely. I think that making our own manifesto before we go over to LinkedIn after we've spoken today together is a way to discount those bad habits, because I believe when we build towards good habits, towards a future we actually want, it's important to determine first our ideology. I hope that today that's given you some food for thought as I develop my manifesto and I'm shifting my ideology. What I'm going to be asking you before we go over at 7 o'clock to talk about how we break bad habits is to make our own manifesto towards a future that we actually want. What's your personal ideology? What ideas do you hold about yourself, actually, first and foremost? And do you have a manifesto for change and stability? So tell me yours, and I'll tell you mine. You are absolutely incredible for being here. We're at 6:25, and we're talking about shattering norms. Before I move to those incredible people on the audience, please do, if you want to, come up. You know, developing our ideology is about developing a coherent set of ideas, and sometimes there's a bit of a mess in the middle. I think we have to go from the bottom up and the top down. So, what do we stand for? Well, I stand for inclusion. And how do I get there? I get there by including myself. And how do I get there? Well, I go and include myself by rocking up, showing up, turning up, and staying turning up. Exactly as I am, right here, right now, accepting me with all of my ideological inefficiencies, accepting that my life manifesto will evolve from the balance of my system and from being the difference that makes the difference. I think manifesto and manifesto are really important together, and I'd love to hear what you're manifesting through your ideology this morning. And then we're going to be able to go over to LinkedIn and hear how we remove or break bad habits. Not sure what Pete's going to say, but I know that my bad habits, if there were any per se, fall away at the point when I look at what my ideology is and then work towards it progressively. So, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Naomi. Are you there? Because you were first in the room.
I am here. How are you?
Oh, how are you? I'm here, right? I'm here, right now. No, I'm here, and I'm here on track, I think. Well, I am on track for everything that I set out to do at the beginning of the year. How about you?
I have been thrown a massive curveball in the last 48 hours, and I'm going to have to do some serious manifesting and relooking at my ideologies, I think, because I was diagnosed with stage 1 skin cancer on Friday,
Okay.
which has come very much out of the blue. It was the same day that the house sold, and it's been shit. So I have to go and see a specialist on Wednesday. They're going to have to operate skin graft from my ear, and it's knocked me for 6, that's for sure. So I think at the top of what I need to manifest, I've got my manifest that shit candle lit. I'm looking at it, and it's the best. It smells so good. It says manifest that shit on it, and I've just been burning it. I thought you'd like that one.
I do.
So I think I'm in shock, and I don't know if I can answer your question clear thinking, just because there's everything else at the moment.
You're just here, right?
It's just kind of got on top of me. But I actually did put a parcel in the mail to you last week, so hopefully you should get it by Christmas.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm here and I'm listening, and I'm definitely going to be doing some deeper dive thoughts onto what you said, and I think it'll be a good way for me to spend the afternoon, and I'm just going to plan what I need to do and what priorities are and how I'm going to get through this, and look at support networks and that kind of thing. So, yeah.
You've got everything you need right inside you, right? No, you have.
Yeah.
And we're here. Yeah. So tonight, if you're around, if you're still awake, come and we'll work it out. We'll work out that manifesto, because then when we say what we're doing, we just keep saying it, right? And eventually it either happens or you're not here. That's what I think. Well, if I just keep going on, eventually I'll either be right or I'll have gone and nobody will care.
I'll care. Please don't go.
I'm not planning on.
Please freaking met you. Like, come on, give us a break.
I'm not planning on. But I just think, well, I'm either right or it's done, because I'm not going to stop. I believe.
And I'm a firm believer in these things that they're actually sent to the people that are strong enough. Like, I do. It sounds so flippant when you say it, but I'd rather I was going through it someone else. And if we're looking on the good side, I get a free fucking nose job out of this. I'm asking to do Botox at the same time. So I'm winning.
I love you.
But Yeah, it'll be
It's still shit.
oral chemo and stuff afterwards, which will probably knock me around. But
It's horrible.
I'm strong and I've got through stuff before, so I'm just muddling through it, and
We
going to
are,
get
though.
that journal out and start manifesting.
Shadow journal time, you know. This time,
Yeah,
this
I will
side of the
message
moon.
Kristen to see if I can get the link. I think
Good
I've
laugh.
got it.
Good laugh. It's not changed.
And if I'm there, I'm there. So,
and if you're
but
not, you're
I
still
love
there.
what you just said. I always love what you say. So, yeah, it's the perfect day to say it, actually. So, thank you.
I love you. And I was thinking about you the other day. You know, you're always in my heart and mind. And many of my clients will say, do you know you affect me while you're not there? And I'm like, so do you affect me? It's a symbiosis. And I haven't stopped thinking about you out with your family on that beach, because for me, going on the beach was a 12-year process. And when I got there, I cried. The dog looked at me like I was mad. For a start, he didn't know why I was on the beach. But when I got there, I never imagined that the beach could be mine again. Never in a million years. So
you got to come to a beach here one day. Like, beach. You have not seen a beach till you've seen our beaches. So even if I've had to get you a private jet, I'm bloody getting your ass here.
Well, I intend to have a VAT-free plane. Like, when I buy a plane, I'm only buying a plane because, number one, I can't get one. If I could just get a plane, I wouldn't need one. If I could get on a plane, I wouldn't need one. And I want to prove that a VAT-free plane is an accessible plane. Because if I make
it Naomi.
If I could call it Naomi, couldn't I? But if I get a Naomi Air to you, madam. Yeah, I just want a VAT-free plane, just so I can get places. I'm going to learn to fly it myself, though. I'm not expecting anyone else to.
Oh God, I'm not getting on that plane.
Why not?
Oh well, I don't know.
It's going to be the RAF that teaches me. It's not just going to be a randomer.
Oh, okay, slightly better.
Thank you. I'm going to be trained by the RAF. It's not me that's doing it. Like, I wouldn't do that.
Who knows with you? I never know.
I'm not doing 7 days to fly a plane. Can you imagine?
It's more that you're going to get onto YouTube. How do I fly a plane? Oh, there you go. I'm an expert.
No, I thought I'd apply to flights for the disabled. I did apply once, did get through to a certain bit, and then had to close it because I went into hospital. And then I was going to apply last year, and I thought, I've really got a lot on. I don't want to learn to fly a plane and do a degree at the same time. It could be a bit much because I need the summer. So then the new applications open on January the 3rd, and I can apply for 2025 summer. So I've got a lot to do in 2025 summer, so I'll have to really plan it carefully, because I've got the naked bike ride in London, the World Naked Bike Ride, and then I'd quite like to learn to fly a plane. That's the plan.
Well, support you every step of the way. So thank you for the room and for making me laugh. And hello to everyone else in here. And I will shut up for now and just listen.
I love you. I love the fact we've got Australia and Somalia and England and Wales and even Alexia's planet in the room. Alexia. Are we on planet Alexia yet?
We can make a song about that. It sounds very like, yeah. Australia, Somalia, we've even got Alexia. We need to turn this world upside down, girls.
We are. She's in Australia. She has already turned the world upside down. Sorry. Good morning.
Good morning. Now we need a bit of fun to start the day.
And the week.
We're all behind you.
And the month.
Yeah. So you're not on your own.
And the year.
I went through 4 bouts of cancer, and it is a challenge.
Oh.
But, darling, we're all here. Even if you want to contact me and you want to have a chat, even if it's odd times, my time, you're not on your own, friend. And I can't wait till I get to Australia.
I love you. Thank you for that.
With the Omios. So you'll have some really bright vehicles, because MJ's is bright. Mine's going to be orange.
You're
so
telling me you don't know what colour it is? I can't believe you don't know what colour my Omeo is. Come on, Alexia. What colour is my hair?
Well, my brain's gone dead. I'm going to make you laugh.
Mine must be green.
Yesterday. And even with using Grammarly, I just could not sort it out. My brain just went bonkers yesterday, and I could not get my blog to make sense. I've done it in about 10 minutes this morning while I was listening to you. But I will use the excuse that I fell over twice yesterday.
Oh.
It was still a bit slippery.
Yes,
And Belle was a good dog because I just went like a pack of cards. I got once and it was so slippery I went again. Anyway, I survived it. That is another reason why being active and doing things, not only for this planet, and my reason for my motto for next year would be to help more people and more children understand why it matters what we do, and also the powers to be to learn and understand that very often the people they judge, they don't actually know. And they don't, sorry, my voice is not awake yet. Talking to the dog is not enough. She was full of it this morning, mate. So they need to learn, as we need to learn, that they might not be able to get through the planet as they were when they're in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, their 50s. Life changes. How you move changes. What you do changes. I've been involved in this planet on and off most of my life in one way, shape or form. We all are. But actually caring for it has been a massive part of my life. But until I really started to look at what I was doing, I couldn't really make that difference. And my mate MJ up there, it took her a long time to convince me that I needed support to get around. Because at that time I was managing, compared to what I'm doing now, quite well. That is getting more challenging. Things change, but we can take control of a lot of what we do and not wait for somebody else to do it. Because if we listen to what they say in the news, you'll be forever waiting for somebody else to do it. One of the best things we can ever do is be kind to ourselves. And if you want a free way to do that, look after where you live, look after what you buy, show a little bit of gratitude to those around you. Even if you can't understand why they react in a way, it's not our job to change them. It's our job to lead by example with care and with kindness, because that is what is forgotten so much in today's world. Yeah, there's a limited amount of income. I'm having a laugh because I'm doing psychology at university, as a lot of you know. And I just picked a book at random to read while I was having a bath and while I was relaxing in bed. And this lady was one of the first ladies who really went to university to study psychology. And I'd not gone looking for it. And it's teaching me so much, but it's really making me think about what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, and what happens when we go through times of challenge like we did with COVID. And the only way that the world kept going was by each government printing money. And that's how they kept it going, because that was the only way to keep it going. So that's going to go on for so long. So then when you wonder why your taxes go up, because what governments do in times of hardship is put the money out there so people can live, but then that's got to be recollected back again. So it's the same principle as looking after the planet. We can't keep taking from it without we put something back. So just think this Christmas, when you're going out to buy your food, do you need such a large amount of stuff? Are you going to waste half of that in the bin? just doing that one simple thing can make a difference, not only to you, but to the resources of this planet and how far they go for others. So let's make this the best week yet and an even better year. Oh, MJ, I can't wait till I get my Omeo. They've only got to say yes now, because I had the message in the email on Friday saying, are you going to be using this Omeo for anything other than work?
You know you're not. Of course you're not. Don't be ridiculous. Goodness me. Why would anybody want to use such a marvellous device outside of workfulness? And anyway, you're self-employed. You're always workful. Everything you do is your own personal manifesto. It doesn't matter if you're in the shops. You're talking about the earth. Let's be honest. It doesn't matter where you are. Everything is workfulness, and therefore there can be no social and domestic contribution. Can there? I don't even know why they're asking. Obviously, they don't know you. They've not met you. I have, though. So luckily, I'm going to be able to support you in your manifesto of only remaining workful for your Omeo.
Yeah.
Nobody understands what we're on about. But the truth is that the government charges for using our wheels. So if we don't use our wheels 7 days a week for work purposes, then those wheels that are perhaps in some way funded get charged 2/7 to us personally, which means that every person that might get a personal mobility device to help them that chooses to use it on the days that they are off has to pay 2/7, which is about £4.5 grand. Now, I don't know many people in my experience. Now, I realise that I don't mix with all the well-off people in the world because they're all disabled, and that means they've not had chance of economic activity, and that's why they're not exactly, capitally very well off. But the 25 grand, not very many people have 4.5 grand or 25 grand to put up for some wheels. And so if we don't use our wheels outside of workfulness, if we are put to be the means of production by the government on a 24-hour basis, sorry, I'm being sarcastic now, then we don't have to pay towards it. But how would you be able to access it unless you didn't use it? Because although we can get that money back from Motability afterwards, where does somebody get 5k, Alexia, that's on benefits?
I know, it's ridiculous. They don't do that if you go out and get a disabled device in any other way. So why would you be charged to do that? You're trying to build up a business. You are building up a business which pays money back to the government,
Exactly.
Which pays back what you borrowed, if you like, in the first place.
Well,
you borrowed it in the first place. So you have a business, so you start earning an income, so you start paying tax, so they start getting it back.
That's it. And the thing is, for every pound that we spend on access to work, we get £1.67 in the public coffers. That's the result of it. That's what you bring back. That's what we know we bring back. That's evidence now that if we spend £1, you bring £1.67 on average back into the public coffers. So you're right. That's exactly right. There's even a number for it. So we know for every pound that I access for you, we are putting this business, our services, this manifesto, this way of living is popping 67 pence per pound into the public coffers. That's a win-win-win, right?
But what they're also forgetting is how many millions are we saving the NHS by not being in hospital, by not being ill, by not needing other assistance?
Exactly.
They're not even taking that into account.
My first Omeo client's lost a stone in weight just using her Omeo because it uses her core muscles, even though she can't use her bottom half. So absolutely, it is promoting healthful activity, and healthful activity. That's right.
By the time you get on there, you can't be on there for long, because by the time you get off,
you can feel it.
You not only feel it, you're shattered as
Absolutely.
well.
Holding yourself, concentrating, directing your body with that machine. Absolutely, I believe it's a focus.
With a ditch on the side, just turn that round and come back up this way.
Amazing.
And it's like, oh my God, there's nothing to stop me going in that ditch.
And yet you did. And that's the thing. Navigating the world using that machine it's an embodied experience. And we know that to overcome trauma, and we are all as disabled people in some way traumatized by our not being included in society. It's one way that we can show up, rock up, and be who we are, navigating our own environment in our own way, and in a way that makes other people stop and stare, right? I quite like the fact that I'm going to be so noticeable now, because people notice me anyway. I might as well be completely noticeable, right?
Oh, it's going to be fun going round with speech with that. I tell you, that's going to tell a few stories.
Isn't it just? And then I'm going to, the next thing, don't you? We need to learn how to fix our own Omeos, don't we?
We do.
We do.
Well, we'll have to get Daniel trained to do that. He's so good with gadgets.
I agree. I think that's a great idea. See, ideas abundant.
Nothing's done for me. Oh my God, the equipment I got in this house, and he's just got a gift for it. That's what he needs to do, and he'll enjoy it as well.
I tell you what, we need engineers, right? Because we're going to put hundreds on the pavements, and they all need fixing. So absolutely, I think that's definitely that's why he's not done anything up to now, apart from support and love you and his family, because actually he was actually an Omeo engineer in the making.
Yeah. This is where the love and kindness comes in, because in all that snow and ice, I wanted to get my Christmas stuff from the shed at the bottom of the garden. I put one foot on it, put my hand on the gate, and I thought, there's no way I'm going to make that. Do you know, he came round on Saturday. He put all my Christmas decorations up. I didn't ask him. He put them all up, put the tree up. He won't do it in his own house. He won't do it.
He'll do it for him.
Expect not going further than clubhouse.
That's. I wish I had somebody. They haven't put my decorations up. We lost my tree. I can't find it in this room. I'm moving on Tuesday, so hopefully I'll discover my decorations by Tuesday.
Well, that's how I find my stuff over that. Or I have to ring Daniel up.
That's it. I just want to say good morning to Zara. We were talking about electrical and computational devices, and Zara walked in, and I think she's a PhD candidate in electrical and computer engineering in the US. So I wonder if she knows about Omeos. And if she doesn't, they used to be called OGOs, Zara. And if you don't know what they are, I think you should look at them if you're looking at electrical and computational engineering. I believe Omeos are going to be moved by the power of my mind eventually, not just my bum.
Well, you know what we're having next, don't you? Because my next thing, I need a kit car so it drives itself.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Well, I don't want it to drive itself. I want to drive it through the power of my mind.
Because my eyes won't necessarily see all I should see.
True. Well, you can put a camera on, and then through the power of your mind, it can move you.
Yeah.
I think that's what we need.
Yeah, we definitely do.
It won't be long.
I better be quiet now. Finish getting this blog out, haven't I?
Yeah, you had really. And we got a couple of people left on stage just before we bob over at 7 o'clock to LinkedIn to discover how to break our bad habits. I think I'm a bad habit, and I quite like not to be broken. I quite like being here, to be honest. Turning up every Monday at 6 o'clock, and we are doing every Monday at 6 o'clock. We're here on Monday the 4th of December. I'm just going to reset that we are also back in the Inclusion House this evening at 7 o'clock, when we are going to be developing, designing, creating, and explicating our manifestos. And I appear to be in a rhyming mode this morning, so I'm a poet and I didn't know it, or maybe I did. And I'm going to move on to the most fantabulous human in the universe, as well as all the others. Marie, are you there?
I am, lovely.
You got a manifesto? You got an ideology? Do you know what you're up to?
Yeah, right now it's to make sure that I've gone through every single client, so we don't have to tomorrow. That's my manifesto, and to let it all go. I don't know. Do you know what? If nothing else, my lived experience has taught me that quite often what I imagine is going to happen never actually does. It's always in a roundabout, squiffy sort of way. And it's a done, right? So if it's already put out there, it's a done. It's a given. I just need to match my energy. So that's what I'm concentrating on, is alignment. That's it. I'm sort of letting go of all of those processes, because my energy moves further and further away. And there's that resistance then, isn't there? Indeed. So I'm educating myself about alignment. That's what I'm doing. That's my manifesto. And just to keep going, and to put my big girl pants on for what's about to come in the future, because it's slightly scary how fast it's happening. But it's all I know is I can only do my best. I can only show up and do my best in any given day. But I started to let go of outcomes, MJ, because they never happen the way I think they're going to happen.
The stories we tell ourselves, right? I could tell myself a right old tale about what's happening, and then I'm like, oh, okay. The universe had a much better idea than I had, because I am limited by my own experience, but the universe has all the experience of everybody.
Exactly. Like, it just knows best, doesn't it? It just knows best.
It does.
And I know nothing, but if I'm open to being taught, that's a big step, I think, is remaining open to the fact that I'm never going to have it figured out. It's a continuum. That's my belief system anyway. Yeah. So it never ends. It's a continuum. So right now in my physical essence, I just need to align with that which I know already exists. That's it. That's my job today. And to get through all of these clients we don't have to tomorrow.
Oh, do you know, I'm so grateful for your existence, because I know that whilst I'm in 1,000,000 billion access to work assessments, because that's how it feels, 1,000,000 billion, I think that's probably how many we're going to do by the end of our days, 1,000,000 billion. I don't know whether there are 1,000,000 billion people that need access to work in England, but I think there will be by the time ends, or our time at least. And maybe that's just the future, when we're no longer here and other people are continuing to do that by whatever medium. and I believe, that everything we go through is for everything we are. So I am aligning with letting go of what is the energy. I relax now in my solar plexus. People might not know where that is, but for me it's in my bottom of my tummy. In the bottom of my tummy, when I can relax, I can move into my own energy, and I can let go of the fear of the outcome and focus on the process, which isn't the only point that there is being through, being in the mess in the middle, developing that manifesto moment by moment. It's not about the done thing, it's about the doing thing. I said last week that resilience was a verb, and I believe it is. I believe that the alchemy of manifesting our future is in the doing, in the here and the now, in the seeing that having this issue that Naomi's been presented with is an option to be able to go in and have the surgery that she's always needed, wanted, desired, wished for, or thought about. Now, whatever it is, it's what she's up for. And so there's the win from the process, and the process is the necessity, just like the going through the 100 million billion gazillion clients on all of the boards that we have today. And believe me, it's a given that there are 100 million billion gazillion, because there already seems to be in comparison to what there was. So what there is to be is nothing like anything I can imagine, because the universe has got bigger ideas than I could ever have. So I'm very excited about 2024, but more so 2025. However, of course, in 2024, a little bit of news. I will be speaking at a major disability event in May and in July. So we are already stage speaking. I will have had the Disabled Entrepreneurs Club fixed by then. And at the 10,000, we'll have given that first place away for that first disabled entrepreneur. It is so fantastic to see new faces here this morning. I want to say good morning to Dr. Jordan and Tazara and Simone and Swad, I can never say that, and Sam and Emmanuel. Hey, it's great to see you. And Fran and Andrew, Bob, Diane, I love you and I missed you. Clive, it is good to see you. We have email work to do. And Dale, thank you for being here. I am not leaving it last but not least. I'm leaving it to a very important voice, somebody who has gone through the mill, really. And I just want to, in this last few minutes, James, I'd like you maybe to summarise what you think this room's been about and what your manifesto is for you as this year comes to a close. Are you there?
Yeah, thank you, MJ. Yeah, my manifestation, my manifesto. So I'm going to manifest my manifesto this morning, and obviously with my voluntary work that I do in this beautiful community that I live in, I'm going to be cycling off to the food bank this morning, and I generally hit the 100 miles at least a week. But last week the weather changed and the local gritters were doing a good job, but they could only just about keep up with the bus routes up here because it does get quite cold up north. Some people say grim, but I just don't accept that. I think it's how you look at your surroundings, and there's been a beautiful atmosphere here this weekend because they put the big tree up, and finally this morning I unwrapped my very, very well recycled fibre optic tree that was gifted me from a wonderful employer I had a good number of years ago. And it's on one of his beautiful products, his coffee table. And it just looks right. It needs leveling a bit. I'll need to get my spirit level out in a minute. It's like a little bit wonky at the top, so the star needs sorting out. But yeah, I'm going to be cycling this week, but I'm actually, for once, it'll be to the gym and back, and all local routes, no real distance. So I reckon I'm going to have to sit down on one of them bikes inside the gym, which I've not done for years and years. I kind of had a little bit of fun with myself with it and said, there's no way I'm going to sit on any of these bikes in the gym, apart from the one which I can stand up and use my arms on. I don't know if you know of any of those, MJ, but that was the only one because I had this wonderful lady inspiring me, and I thought, well, I can stand up and dance while I'm... and then I realised there's quite a few people staring at me in the gym when I was wiggling, so I give up on that little bit of fun and just concentrated on putting extra resistance on the machine. And that was the only bike. But at the moment, with the roads being as they are, I'm going to be cycling in the gym, and I've set a target this week of doing 70 miles on the internal cycling machines.
Fantastic.
I'll find the one that's not under the air conditioning unit, though, because I want to get a bit warm.
Yeah.
Get a bit of a puddle going underneath me. But yeah, because all I want to do is become more magic with my health, really. And that's one that I manifest every day. I say, just be magic with your health, James. And I just keep moving forward with that. So I'm going to magic the kettle on.
I am too. If I've
just finished my lovely green tea with lime in. And I've got there's another glass, another one of that in the Pyrex dish there. So I'm going to, lovely glass Pyrex dish. I'm going to say cheers and sip this last bit up, and then I think I might have a coffee at 8 o'clock and get ready to cycle off to the food bank and help the guys feed the community up here, because it's a wonderful service that the two separate councillors have delivered. They've teamed up together and they support their local community. They don't fall into this political arguing BS.
That's it. That's how it should be.
Get on with it. But I see Julian's here, so I'm going to let Julian move into the room and have a wonderful week, everybody. And I look forward to seeing some wonderful people at the weekend. And have a great one.
Thank you, James. Thank you. And it's great to see Robert here, who's not a member of the house. So please hit that membership. Make sure you hit the bell or you won't know we're here. It's the only way now for Clubhouse to let you know we're here. And we're here every Monday at 6 o'clock. For those others in the room, hit that bell and then you'll know where we are. We're also live on all forms of social media. So if you're there, don't forget to make a comment and reach out to me and I will come back to you. Good morning, Jew. Did you get an hour's sleep, my love?
No, I got locked out of the room. I couldn't get in, but I only missed 10 minutes.
We're about to go over to LinkedIn, so you okay if we jump over there, my love?
You go, I've got Sharon's.
All right, my love. We shall run away and I will let you run across to Sharon's. It's good that you're here and it's great to see everybody arriving. We're going to run over to LinkedIn now. So Take care, and we will see you all. Oh, good morning, everybody. It's 7 o'clock. We will see you all over there in Pete's room. Let's go and smash our bad habits. You've been here shattering norms, and it's pretty much the same thing, except I think we should show up for our own manifesto, work out what our own ideology is, and then move from there. And we've discussed that all day, all morning so far. And I'll see you at 7 o'clock tonight in Inclusion. Don't forget to ask Christian Burton for the link if you'd like it. See you there, guys. See you over on LinkedIn. Bye.
Good morning, everybody. Happy, beautiful day. It is 7 o'clock here where I am. What time is it? Where you are. I am a little bit out of breath, to be honest, as I've just smashed out 30 minutes on my rowing machine. Thank you so much for being here this morning. We will officially get started in a few moments. Let's just let as many people